That's a lot of Kimba. All right, so we got that in there. The footage is converted. That's fine. I'm kind of tempted to go through. There's like a bunch of YouTube videos on this. I'm kind of tempted to go through some of them. Look at how. Sorry. Look at this thumbnail right. Where did it go? Look at this thumbnail. 1966, 1994, 2019. You want to take a wild guess as to where that 1966 image is from? It's from it's from the 1997 movie. It's from the 1997 movie. And yet in the thumbnail right there, 1966. Yep. All right,
The Lion
Saberspark.
King was one of the most groundbreaking animated films ever made. The impact it left on audiences was felt across the world.
I just want to see like how much research other people did first to see like where we're even at. I want to know if Saberspark watched Kimba or what his take on it is.
For Disney, but all of the art and plays and movies inspired him to create his own style and make his own comics. Fortunately, he was able to avoid the front lines during World War II and worked in a factory instead. After the war, he went to Osaka University to study medicine and become a doctor. But he never gave up on his pursuit to become an artist. He eventually found his momentum and created one of the most iconic characters in manga and Japanese animation.
I'm not going to give up on my pursuit to become an autist.
A lot more to Kimba than most people realize. Folks are quick to think that the story from The Lion King is essentially all that Kimba has to offer, but that is far from the truth. Yes, there are similarities, but Kimba has a lot more variety, which makes sense. For example, humans never made it.
That part was so funny. This was in the 66 sequel series, and he just like straight up kills Daniel for no reason, and it's so funny. It turns out he's not dead later in the episode, but it was so funny.
Don't get me started on some of these dubs.
Anyone who disobeys King Boo the Great will have to pay. Let them disobey. I'll show
them. Kimba is definitely worth checking out. But there's one specific thing I want to mention. Kimba wears his dead father's skin around in the show. Yeah. They wanted to make. At one point, the film was called King of Beast. Then it was changed to King of the Jungle. And one of the original stories was...
I'm gonna fact check that, actually. I'm sure it's correct. I'm not doubting Saberspark, but I would like to get the information from not just listening to someone say it. But that's a decent point that I would like to include. Because like people that are arguing the Kimba controversy, they're like, ooh, some of these concept images, that's damning, because one of these concept images shows a white lion. And it's like, well, yeah, there's like several iterations of what a film could possibly be before it's actually made, right? They go through different ideas all the time.
Oh, Lord. It's hard to fight for Disney on this one.
Really? I'm not sure. Like, there's so many different instances. I can't.
That villains, bird sidekicks, lackey hyenas,
yeah.
The story about being the rightful heir to the throne. And that's just some of it. Apparently, one of the lion cubs was supposed to be white. Oof, that looks pretty bad. And then you have Roy Disney during some interview saying Kimba instead of Simba. Was it a mistake? Maybe. But this point right here, this
is like conspiratorial.
Said that he was under the impression that the
Sorry, hold on.
Roy Disney during some interview saying that Bambi was more of an influence, if anything. And then you have the co-director, Rob Minkoff, who said that he wasn't familiar with Kimba. He's also on the record saying that whenever a story is based in Africa, it's, quote, not unusual to have characters like a baboon, a bird, or hyenas.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the right direction of the Lion King.
Sucker!
Yeah, I disagree with these similarity comparisons.
Tom Cito had worked to this very day. Now, there was a question of whether Tezuka's family would pursue a lawsuit against Disney, but they ultimately decided against it. Something about Tezuka and how he would have been honored about a Kimba adaptation from Disney, I guess, and how they also want to maintain a good relationship with the company. Okay, your call, but let's be real here. The probable reason of why they backed out is because Disney has a terrifying legal team.
There is one little problem.
And also, I mean, like,
they think I'm...
That's not how copyright infringement works, also.
So in conclusion, did Disney steal from Kimba the White Lion? I was stuck on forming an opinion on this one. On one hand, there's plenty of evidence to insinuate that Disney borrowed from Kimba. I mean, how could a studio full of animators who are some of the best in their field not know about Kimba? To at least bring it up and say, maybe our movie's a bit too close to the old anime. It just seems highly suspect. But on the other hand, coincidence is not out of the question. There have been times where animated movies...
You would, like, the problem with that statement... I love you, Saberspark, but the problem with that statement would be that, like, it wouldn't just be limited to like vague familiarity with Kimba. in order for people to make that call and say like, wait, this is too similar, they would have to have memorized Kimba. Like, there's 52 fucking episodes of the original show and then plenty more after the fact, right? So it's like, if the comparisons of it being like way too similar are going to involve things like a warthog that appeared in one episode, you know, like, depends which episodes they've watched, really.
From Kimba the White Lion. I was stuck on I do believe that the staff who worked on The Lion King at least knew of Kimba and drew some inspiration from it. But I don't think that they maliciously stole from Tezuka. As in,
yeah,
hey,
me
ever seen
neither.
this Japanese show before? Screw it. Let's take it for ourselves. Again, the visual parallels do raise suspicion, but it might just be great artists thinking alike. It does happen at times. At least I hope that's the case. But there's no doubt that Disney did an awful job of handling the entire affair.
Yep.
All they had to do was
Agree.
to say, hey, this other show exists, part of animation history, and was made by one of the greatest creators in Japan. It was one of the earliest Japanese cartoons on American television, and it really should be known for more than being that one thing that The Lion King might have ripped off. Seriously, try for yourself. Type Kimba into Google, and most of the results are going to be about The Lion King and how it might have stolen its premise from Kimba.
Yeah.
The entire legacy of Kimba now is tied to The Lion King, and that's unfortunate. If you get the chance, please check it out. It's absolutely worth it.
Cool.
The highest grossing animation of all time, they get a tease for something even bigger.
For the summer of 1994, Disney animators will take you deep into the wilds of Africa for Disney's 30-second all-new full-length animated feature, The Lion King.
This was the first glimpse of Disney's upcoming animated feature, The Lion King, promoted as the first Disney animation.
I like how they say 30-second as in like 32 ND, but it sounds like 30-second as in 30 seconds long.
Based off a mountain of evidence to prove foul play.
I'm glad that this
Now-
person is actually using clips from things that weren't created after The Lion King
2 decades
in their
later, it's time to
video.
finally answer the question once and for all. Did Disney, however, with the tragic passing of Isamu Tezuka at the age of 60 the following year, the film would spend nearly 10 years in limbo. But over in the United States, another animation began development in 1988.
Yeah. Okay.
Tragic passing of Isamu Tezuka at the age of 60.
That's pretty important. And it's really funny that one Kimba channel, when they got to like, yeah, well, the 97 movie was supposed to come out before The Lion King, but The Lion King, like, did something, like, and there's just more obvious answers that don't involve massive conspiracy, you know?
Evidence and are far too frequent and specific to possibly ignore.
I'm not gonna call bullshit right now. That seems like it's from the 97 movie, but I don't know.
Are far too frequent and specific.
I can't
to
say
possibly
for
ignore.
sure.
Coincidence is one thing, but there's example after example after example of just how closely.
Like, it's just
After
3,000 minutes versus 90 minutes. It's the most unfair comparison imaginable.
example of just how closely these scenes match to those present in Kimba the White Lion. Both animations even feature Stampede, with the character in danger hanging from a branch with a bird character telling them help is on
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I can't.
the way. In Kimba, it's antelopes. In The Lion King, it's wildebeests.
Hey, why'd you kick my father's hide?
Yeah, like if you just replace characters with other characters, then the same kind of vague thing happens, kind of, but not really. The context is entirely different. The result is entirely different. Its purpose is entirely different. Pretty much the only similarity is that there's a stampede and a character is hanging from a tree at one point. Does he even say branch in this one? Because if he says branch, that's going to be evidence to me he didn't watch the show.
Those present in Kimba the White Lion. Both animations even feature Stampede, with the character in danger hanging from a branch with a bird character telling them help.
He's not hanging from a branch. I mean, it's weird that he said that. I don't know. Maybe he did watch the show. Because, like, even just by looking at this clip, it's like, that's not a branch.
Hey, why'd you kick my father's hide?
Ow! Jeez, what was that for?
But it's really the sequences involving
Really? Those two scenes are going to be compared? That's so stupid. I'm sorry. And this guy, like, who made this video seems to be of the opinion that it's not a ripoff, but this is just a weird thing to compare.
What was that for?
But it's really the sequences involving Simba and Mufasa against Scar that, with a little restructuring, are virtually identical of those between Kimba and Claw in the sequel series Leo.
Nah. Nope.
That, with a little restructuring, are virtually
Yeah, with a little
identical
restructuring.
of those between Kimba
It's not
and
virtually identical.
Claw.
It's literally not the same at all. Yeah, if you switch which character threw what at the other person's eye, and also what they kicked at the other person's eye, if you switched, like, everything around, then it's the same.
between Kimba and
Like,
Claw in the sequel series Leo the Lion.
it can be recreated if you, like, stitch together a bunch of random episodes From like several different series.
Script until near the end of the rewrites. One plot thread of Kimba is his goal of turning carnivores into herbivores, and while Simba technically does become a vegetarian, the movie still ends with the circle of life.
Eating bugs is not vegetarian. I respectfully disagree, and I don't understand why anybody thinks that eating living organisms is vegetarian. Eating bugs is... Do people think that? Is that like, do vegetarians eat bugs? Is that a thing?
Simba technically does become a vegetarian, the movie still ends with the circle of life.
It's not technically. I'm sorry, that's stupid.
Near the end of the rewrites. One plot thread of Kimba is his...
Sorry?
Kimba. Then you have Mufasa and Caesar, whose morals and personality are nearly identical.
I disagree. I disagree with that. Caesar's entire philosophy for the jungle is that, like, no one should fight ever, and, like, Kimba turns this into his vegetarianism thing, and I think it's even hinted at that, like, Caesar was trying to make everyone vegetarian, too. But it's like, in Caesar's jungle, no one fights ever and nothing happens, whereas, like, literally Mufasa's core philosophy that is in The Lion King is it's the circle of life. We eat the antelope eats the grass, when we die our bodies become the grass. Those are very two different core beliefs.
Fred Patton. Scar is pretty much the combination of Claw's hot-tempered nature and the suavely sinister Black Panther.
Everyone's saying he's going to be king of the jungle instead of you, Claw.
I think that's such a stretch, and it's so stupid that, like, you have to combine two different characters to get one character. I think that's stupid. I think that's absolutely stupid. Yeah, Scar combines elements of both.
Black Panther.
Everyone's saying he's going to be king.
And also, I really don't feel like Scar acts like this dude at all. What's his name? I forget.
Claw. Like to see him try.
Cassius.
Orders to the laughing hyenas.
Okay, hold on.
The baboon. Polly are both birds meant for mostly comedic purposes.
I find this so stretching because not only are their characters entirely different, but you could say literally every character in Kimba is for comedic purposes. You could say his antelope friend too. You could say Daniel the baboon. They're all for comedic purposes. It's not like and it's not like Zazu's it's not like, even if you were to say they're both for comedic purposes, it's not like that's exclusive to either of these characters. They're not the only characters in the show or film that are, they're not the comic relief. That's not what they are. And their characters are entirely different. I find the Zazu and Polly comparison to be, like, absolutely ridiculous. Like, absolutely insane. Like, you have to stretch so far to get there. You have to either stretch or reduce.
Zazu and Polly are both birds meant for mostly comedic purposes. The baboons, Rafiki and Daniel, are also both wise old mentors who guide Kimba and Simba on their journey. There are...
Not really. Not really. Every once in a while he'll be like, hey, chin up, old little boy! Because he's supposed to be an old kook, whereas this guy's like a fucking witch doctor. Right? They're entirely different characters. This guy's a fucking crazy witch doctor.
Guide Kimba and Simba on their journey. There are quite a few more comparisons we could explore, but we also run the risk of trying to say a film like Harry Potter, where a boy who's left in the hands of an aunt and uncle who suppress information about who he truly is and is destined for great things, is copying Star Wars, a film where a boy is left in the hands of an aunt and uncle who suppress information about who he truly is and is destined for great things. But then there's also this.
That's why all the others always laugh at me, Kimba. I know my mother must be ashamed of me.
No, you can't do this. It's one episode where the warthog's there and he's nothing like Pumbaa. You can't do this. And it's weird that I'm complaining so much about this guy that I'm, like, apparently is on my side of the issue by saying it's not really a ripoff. I'm wondering why he's including all these clips when they're so ridiculous. The stretches, the mental gymnastics that you have to apply here to get to that point. It's just so ridiculous.
I know my mother
We just watched through this episode the other night. It has nothing to do with anything.
must...
It's not a carbon copy, but these similarities can't be written off as coincidence.
Pot of Petals, do you believe that like South Park rips off The Simpsons? Have you seen the South Park episode Simpsons Did It? To make that kind of statement, these similarities can't be written off as coincidence. You're acting as though you're an expert on how art is created, and you're I take issue with the absolutism of that statement, which is what I'm arguing against, pretty much. Not your statement, but that statement in general. I'm willing to say, yeah, it's entirely possible that The Lion King was inspired by Kimba. But what I'm arguing against is the absolutist statement of, oh no, there's no way it could be a coincidence, or that the Lion King, there's no way the Lion King would have come up to with their own film the same way independently of Kimba existing. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. I don't think that it's impossible. I think that's ridiculous.
No, but inspiration is there.
You're saying that the writers of The Lion King, were you here last night when we went through this episode? You're saying that the writers of The Lion King added Pumbaa in as a character and had him ashamed of his own, like, smell for the story next to a watering hole because they watched this particular episode where this warthog, who has some weird pain fetish, like, who helps them out at the post office and then cries because he's ugly and is trying to bang the other warthog girl who's, like, not ugly. That, by the way, I'm not even sure this is a watering hole. I think it's just, like, a source of water, like a lake or something. I guess it's the same difference. But, like, how? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
And Disney claims they were not even aware of Kimba.
Once again, I do not disagree with the idea that there are people that worked on The Lion King that had heard of Kimba before. That is not something I'm disputing at all.
While still in production, Roy Disney gave the equivalent of a Reddit Ask Me Anything.
If it originally began as a Kimba the White Lion retelling, then why were there original first concepts for Scar being him as the king of baboons then? Right? Why did they move away from those other concepts if... Ugh.
To answer a question about whether there'd be any nice motherly figures, he said, quote, "Wait until you see next summer's The Lion King and Kimba's mother. If The Lion King began as a Kimba remake, this would be an easy mistake to make. This would also explain Matthew Broderick's This would also explain Matthew Broderick's statements, claiming to have been under the impression he was hired for the role of Kimba in a remake of the Japanese animated series.
Matthew Broderick didn't write the movie. Matthew Broderick is a voice actor. I don't know why that's used. I don't know why that's an argument.
In a remake of the Japanese animated series, there's also one anonymous employee who claims to have received a letter from a publicist about the, quote, remake of Kimba the White Lion we're doing. Going further, in April of 1980...
Anonymous employee!
Remake of the Japanese animated series. There's also one anonymous employee who claims to have received a letter from a publicist about...
Anonymous employee, unknown publicist.
The creators insist, but, and this is a big but, Kimba was always a massive influence, both consciously and subconsciously. Personally, I truly believe Simba was initially designed to be a white lion as a tribute to Kimba, as based on early concept art, there's no denying this. However, in the same presentation Leo mentioned earlier, you do see Simba as...
But I don't understand why people treat this as a smoking gun. It's one concept image out of a billion. Out of a billion concept images. Like, it's one concept image and people are like, oh yeah, obviously it was supposed to be Kimba. What? Like, that doesn't make any sense. There's a billion concept images that look different, right? Like, they go with a lot of different...
Personally, I truly believe Simba was initially designed to be a white lion as a tribute to Kimba, as based on early concept art, there's no denying this. However, in the same presentation Leo mentioned earlier, you do see Simba as a regular lion, and there's a ton of very early concept art showing this as well. So I think this was abandoned almost immediately. Once the allegations began, a handful of artists and animators went on record to say that, yes, many of those involved were not only aware of the similarities to Kimba, but they embraced it. The production as a whole was unprecedented and chaotic, so it's easy to imagine how a storyboard artist or animator's tribute to Kimba, no matter how obvious, could slip through the cracks by superiors who had never seen the actual cartoon series.
Sometimes you don't know really who was responsible for what, because everyone built on the other ideas.
You're working very hard to bring in a sequence or to create a background or a layout or a moment of animation.
The problem is, like, you would have to have memorized the show. It's the level at which people are claiming that it is lifted from Kimba when we're talking about, like, things like the Pride Rock, or like, oh, they battled on a cliff, right? Or like the specific shot of the warthog at the watering hole. It's like, you would have had to have memorized the show. It's not just like, oh, I was familiar with Kimba. You would have had to have memorized it to lift those things from it.
Really well.
Well, I'll tell you. It's a Japanese anime series from 1965, based on manga comics from 1950, about a white lion cub called Kimba, whose dad is the king of the jungle. Already sounds familiar, right? I mean, just the name is similar. Kimba, Simba...
This is the 1997 movie. What are you doing? Why are you even putting that there? This is the 19 this is from 1990s. Please, why do all the Kimba people keep keep putting the 1997 movie in here? Why do they keep doing that?
Trust me, it gets a lot worse. So the story begins when Kimba's dad is lured into a canyon and killed, just like Mufasa in The Lion King, and just like Simba in The Lion King.
What? Ah!
He's lost away from home and has to make his way back. But he has the ghostly
Oh my god.
Trust me, it gets a lot worse. So the story begins when Kimba's dad is lured into a canyon and killed, just like
Lured into a canyon and killed.
Mufasa in The Lion King. And
Just like
Simba
Mufasa in The Lion King. That's so funny.
Gets lost away from home and has to make his way. And Claw has hyena henchmen who also serve as comic relief. Just like The Lion King, they want to eat the lion cub. And they even
I mean, it's not really their main goal in Kimba.
relief. Just like The Lion King, they want to eat the lion cub. And they even have a musical number in abstract psychedelic colors. Just, do I even have to explain?
I can't believe this is a comparison here.
And they even have a musical number in abstract psychedelic colors.
They even have a musical number in abstract psychedelic colors. Because that was invented by Kimba.
Just, do I even have to explain? Over the course of the series, Kimba makes many friends. They include a quirky but wise baboon who's very similar to Rafiki. There's also an excitable comedy bird, and of course, the romantic interest. It's
Oh, these
very familiar.
It gets so old.
Disney says they didn't know about Kimba. And you have to wonder where Disney got all their ideas for this. There's Kimba hanging above a fiery pit while Claw stands above him.
Oh my god, you have to wonder where they got their ideas. Ah! You have to, it's like these are such basic things. If it was something like really complex, then I would be on the side of Kimba people. If it was something complex that like you can't possibly have written without lifting it from something else that previously existed, that would be an argument. But these are not complex things. Dangling from a cliff and then adding this extra element of like fire underneath is not a complex thing. And this is like, as I've already fucking shown, like there's a billion instances of like people fucking falling from cliffs in Kimba. So no matter how it was done, Kimba would have done it. Also, this clip that they used, is that actual fire? This is lava, I guess? Like he just fell, right? That's not even Claw, that's fucking Cassius. Look, he's dangling from a cliff again. Look, he gets pushed off a cliff. Look, he's dangling from a cliff. There's another line. Now she's dangling off the cliff. Look at this. Oh no, this character's dangling off a cliff now. Like, whoa, dangling off a cliff. Whoa, dangling off a bridge. Whoop, oh, gonna fall down. Roar. Oh, falling into the hole. Like, this show itself is evidence that like when you have animal characters in Africa and you want to add conflict, like how many fucking things do you think are possible here? Because if the Lion King did anything else, if the Lion King did any other conflict and decided, no, we're not going to have somebody getting thrown off a cliff or dangling from a cliff or anything like that, if they decided to go with like, oh yeah, a character's going to drown, well, guess what? Kimba did it. Guess what? Kimba did it. There's locusts. Maybe locusts will come and kill them. Kimba did it. There's a billion things that Kimba did, right? And that's why people also use that excuse of like, oh yeah, the stampede was the same. It's like, well, how many fucking conflicts do you think exist in a story to be told in Africa? Try writing something that Kimba hasn't done is the real challenge.
Open your big mouth.
Oh, Cliff. Hey. Like, it's a very common, basic way to introduce a conflict, is having a cliff. There are other animated kids movies where people fall off cliffs or characters fall off cliffs, right? There was a cliff in, like, Fox and the Hound, or, like, a waterfall or some shit. Like, I don't know. Did you want it to be over a waterfall? Because Kimba fucking certainly did a scene on a waterfall. Like, what could they do?
Above a fiery pit while Claw stands above him, and there's Kimba crawling through spiky brambles. And then
okay, this actually pisses me off, because
there's Kimba hanging above a fiery pit while Claw stands above him, and
there's Kimba hanging from a fiery pit while Claw stands above him.
This.
I'm gonna fact check this before I start getting angry. I'm gonna fact check this real quick. So, as you're already aware, same clip, right? Let's watch this. Same clip, right?
There's Kimba hanging.
This is the exact same clip, that first part. This, right? Same clip. Let's see if I can find the exact same frame. It might be reused animation, who knows? Oh, it might not even... It might be reused animation. They've done the same thing so many times. Oh my god, it's not even the same. Okay, it's probably from a different episode.
Above a fiery pit. Is the Lion King a real ripoff? Nope. Or is it all just a big...
97 movie. It says 1966 in the corner, and they're playing the 97 movie, and it has 4 million views. They're playing the 97 movie. It has 4 million views. Look at this dislike ratio. And it just says 1966 here? What the fuck is this? What the fuck? And nobody's arguing against this. What the fuck? That's not 1966. This is 1997, 3 years after the fucking Lion King. What is wrong? Oh, my throat's been really sore this week, and this is exactly why. Holy shit! What is wrong with you? How can you upload this video? You're lying to people. But this what's weird about this one? Who is this? Who is this person? You're not like, I don't believe this person's a Kimba fan. So it might just be like complete ignorance, right? Yeah, this is like a clickbait channel. This is like Supreme Clickbait, the channel, right? They're just making clickbait. And maybe they actually thought it was from 1966 because of other really manipulative videos on the channel, right? Maybe. Alright, I'm pissed off. It's not 1966! What is wrong with you? Yeah, who else has never seen Kimba the White Lion? There wasn't a single moment of footage in this part that wasn't from the 97 film. Wow, Lion King really did copy Kimba. 2019 is best. This is sad. I love 2019 Lion King. 2019. Hey, somebody with with an argument, or at least a contrasting opinion.
The creator of Kimba the White Lion is very famous. A famous animator, in fact, a famous writer that has even inspired Studio Ghibli. Because of this, there is no way Disney, knowing who they are at the time, that they would not even be aware of, animation techniques or who is really popular in other countries, especially Japan. And it doesn't just stop there. The thing is that Kimba the White Lion, its entire story is exactly like The Lion King. And once again, if you had no idea you look at Kimba, you'd be like, maybe Kimba stole from The Lion King, because Disney, everybody knows Disney is someone that probably creates these original stories, these beautiful stories that just blows everybody away. But Kimba came out many, many, many years way before The Lion King ever came about. And the point here is that Disney denied that they ever used any reference of Kimba. Like, they were never inspired.
I don't believe this person has watched through the entire story of Kimba. I do not believe that for one fucking second. There's no way you can watch through the entire story of Kimba and then say the entire story was ripped off by The Lion King. That is not something that is possible.
Kimba, all of it in the community, so I kind of wanted to put my 2 cents on it. Personally, I've actually never watched Kimba. I never really got to see it because I never really knew how to find it when I was a kid. I had no idea, and I should definitely sit down and watch the original because I love.
So you made this video and you just admitted you have never seen it. Oh my god, you made this video and you just admitted it. You made this video titled "Disney Stole the Plot of The Lion King from Kimba the White Lion." You said they stole the entire plot of Kimba, and then you just said, I've never watched Kimba. What the fuck is going on? T-Bear!
Let's see what it's all about.
I'm reacting to a reaction, guys. It's reactception. Okay, so he's watching the video that I watched.
The Lion King is wrapped psychedelic colors.
Now I'll watch it now.
Do I even have to explain?
Spoiler, he never watched Kimba.
Thinks we'll never know what he'd think. Oh, and guess when Disney began developing The Lion King? Yup, 1989. Now, in Disney's the original story for The Lion King was completely different.
Or, you know, they jock whoever, but.
It's interesting content. The fuck is going on?
इंस्पायर्ड है तो आपको बता दें कि हालिया रिलीज हुई लायन किंग मूवी वॉल्ट डिज्नी की 1994 में आई
Indian people use so many English words just casually in the middle of their conversations that this creates a scenario where I spend a long time trying to figure out if they're just speaking English with a really thick accent or not.
और पीटर श्नाइडर मिले
Okay. Not allowed to run in the desert. They are not the same.
Boy, I said 2 hyenas.
This person doesn't even know what the fuck they're talking about. And I know they don't even think it's a ripoff, but they don't know what they're talking about either. What the fuck is going on? YouTube sucks.
Claimed was their first original story for an animated film. That original story was what the world would soon come to know as The Lion King. The film would not be released until 1994, but when it did, it quickly became Disney's most successful animated film of all time. The similarities between The Lion King and Kimba would take the entire length.
You're using clips from the '97 movie! What are you doing? You don't know what you're talking about!
Take the entire length of the Lion King film to point out, so I'll try my best to sum up the most critical areas. Kimba the White Lion was a lion cub that is born and presented to the jungle animals as Kimba. He has a white
You're using clips from the '97 movie! I was already a little mad, but I didn't yell at the first part where he's like, it is a blatant ripoff and plagiarism, blah, 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 and like provides no nuance or no, like literally like zero gray area at all in the video. I thought, thank you. I thought that, it isn't even Kimba in that clip. That's actually correct. Yeah, Kimba's the adult in this movie. You're absolutely right.
Kimba the White Lion was a lion cub that is born and
I'm pretty sure, isn't he? Yeah, he is. Kimba's the adult in the movie. Yeah, he is.
to the jungle animals as Kimba.
Yeah, that's not even Kimba.
On his big ears. In The Lion King, a lion cub with black trim on his big ears is also born and presented to the jungle animals.
Oh, black trim on his big ears. Brrr!
But this time as Simba, so the names already rhyme.
The names already rhyme. You didn't do any research. You don't even know. You don't even know that Simba means lion in Swahili. You don't even know that. You didn't do any research.
Over the course of the series, Kimba's hyenas. In Kimba the White Lion, Kimba is guided and mentored by the baboon Daniel and the colorful parrot Polly Cracker. In Lion King,
you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about.
His baboon Rafiki and the colorful hornbill bird Zazu. In order for Kimba to make peace with all the jungle animals, he eats plants and bugs to avoid eating his friends.
That's not really what happens in The Lion King.
Same thing as Suzuka's company saying they have never heard of Disney. Now jump to 2019, and now Disney is set to make even more money on a property that they stole in the first place when they released the live-action version of The Lion King.
That they stole in the first place.
And yet the knowledge that Disney
no nuance in this video. It's one thing if you come away with the conclusion that Disney did some shitty stuff in this controversy. It's another thing to just be completely fucking black and white about it. There is no nuance in this video, and it's actually upsetting.
Even be considered an homage when Disney denies they knew he existed. My conclusion, Disney knew exactly what they were doing. They have so much power and knew it was a foreign property. In the end, they knew Japan couldn't do anything about the plagiarism, and they also knew American viewing audiences would either be unaware of the theft or they would be willing to overlook it since it's Disney. Besides,
what about Kimba made The Lion King successful? Everything that I love about The Lion King has nothing to do with anything that was happening in Kimba. Right? When you go through these, like, comparison shots and shit, like, what about... First of all, these are two completely different scenes in context. But, like, what about that made The Lion King successful? There's nothing... Like, the fucking music made it great. This is one tiny fucking 5-second moment where Daniel picked up a stick to hit somebody. This was Rafiki's staff It was like a part of his character design. Don't pretend like Daniel picking up a stick for 5 fucking seconds that some Disney person went and saw that and was like, ooh, a baboon with a stick? That's a crazy idea, and that is why Kimba was successful, so we'll do the same thing. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Or if Disney just got greedy and cut Japan out altogether since Tezuka had just died, we may never know. But it's impossible to
That, oh my god, you just used a clip from the 97 movie again.
family-loving company. I love The Lion King because it is a great movie and a great story, but I do not believe anyone can discount this as coincidence. Do you? Tell us what you think. Sign off.
I don't believe you've watched Kimba. I don't believe for a fucking second that you've watched Kimba. I also hope that they don't get hate from this. Nobody send hate their way, honestly. Don't harass these people that are just making videos pretending to have any kind of knowledge on a subject that they know absolutely nothing about and didn't do any research on, and include clips from the 1997 film saying that The Lion King went back in time with a time machine to rip them off. Don't send any harassment their way. I'm just gonna make my video, state my case, and that's gonna be it. Oh. It sucks. Ugh, my throat is so sore. I keep yelling. Oh. It sucks that, like, I'm in a position where I have to leave no stone unturned in order to even have this conclusion, you know? I'm just like, I have a challenge ahead of myself here in terms of how I'm going to structure and present the information. Because I have to be very careful with how I do it. So this article used that thumbnail. I'm trying to... There was an article... A lot of the better articles I've seen when I do research have come from The Hollywood Reporter. I've seen a lot of pretty good coverage and really informative shit from The Hollywood Reporter. This person is acting in such bad faith. This video is literally used in the Hollywood Reporter article. And they, like, interviewed her. And they, like, I don't know, she has to know that people are coming away from her video knowing, or with the impression that, like, the 1997 and 2000 footage that was shown is some sort of evidence, right? I think that's bullshit. I think that's stupid. Hey, he has a stick again! He has a stick for a moment. This is like the second time he's had a stick. It's episode 46 now? Like...
These are the most stubborn ants I've ever seen in my life.
Okay. Is this seriously what they were talking about? This is! This is literally... The Lion King, lightning starts a fire, and rain puts it out. And then Kimba, the Red Menace, lightning starts a fire, and then rain puts it out much later in the episode. Like, what the fuck? Kimba invented lightning starting a fire. The dead dad category is pretty fucking big. Like, there's just, this is so weird. This is the 1966 series that was dubbed by the Christian Broadcasting Network in, like, 80s. And this is the DVD I have, and the audio and video are shit. It's literal ear rape. The entire show. This is at 0 decibels, by the way.
I'm not hungry. Okay, let me try it.
This is like the worst dub of all time, by the way.
That's cheating. You're cheating.
So these are the DVDs, and I was like dumbfounded by these DVDs. And there's several DVDs that I bought, and they all sound like this. They all sound like fucking ear rape.
We must keep moving. It's not too far.
Yeah, this is literally what the DVDs sound like.
I'll protect him on this side. Are you doing all right there, Rookie? Yeah, I'm all right.
Anyway, so then I found the same episodes on YouTube, and the audio quality is better. The dub still fucking sucks. The dub's still fucking terrible. The dub is still... It's the same dub. Literally the same dub. So I don't know. I have no idea why their DVDs sound like such ear rape. It's a terrible dub. It's the same dub.
Glad to see you, Dr. Sugi. I'm Captain Bad of the Rismayan Monarch.
I gotta find The Emperor and the King 01. I might shout out this video in my mind. It seems to be like really well put together so far. Despite being like from a really small channel with like not that great production value, it's like this person clearly did a lot of research on this, and I'm actually pretty impressed.
Mythological tale set on animals.
Is it really a one-to-one ripoff, or is it different enough to stand on itself? I'll see you next time when we delve to the actual story of the two franchises.
This is such a really thorough, well-researched series. Yeah, I gotta fucking shout out this person. Shinobi.
Just link this guy and don't make the video.
Okay, well, here's the thing though, is my video doesn't only just exist to be like, hey, there's a lot of misinformation about Kimba. My video exists to showcase the hilarious parts of Kimba, because I want to share it to the world with how fucking crazy it is. There needs to be a video on my channel with that clip of like, why couldn't all the other elephants be nice? Then they wouldn't have to be exterminated and shit like that. That's why I'm making my videos, because there's some hilarious shit in Kimba, right? The argument that I'm having is like almost secondary towards that. So, and also like no matter what conclusion that this person has by the end of it, there's certain points that I'm bringing to it that a lot of people have not brought up. And it's like the reductionist attitudes towards the similarities and the character traits of these characters throughout both series, right? To claim that Polly and Zazu are the same character would be to ignore what both of those characters are, and that's something that I want to touch on, and I'm not confident that this person will.
Until they ask them to stop doing that, or they won't upload further episodes.
I'll take a nice long rest here on the sand.
In the morning, I'll bring you help.
You should try and get some sleep. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rest with you here beside me, good friend.
Yeah. Yeah, Kimba never really had an arc of any kind. Like, the whole point of the Lion King story is that Simba has an arc, right? Like, his character is clearly defined as a child, and then the character transforms throughout the course of the film. Whereas, like, Kimba from, like, day fucking 1 is, like, the same as he is at day 52. You know, there's no difference.
Or just want to prove Disney is evil. Reminding you once again, the importance of research and honesty in your presentation if you want to present unprejudiced, not one-sided facts. Because doing otherwise would be...
Yeah, this person's basically using this person has the same opinion as me, it seems.
And if you don't understand what you're working on, then don't even bother doing it, because it only makes things worse. It makes it worse for presenting a faulty idea for your subject, and it makes it worse for giving a bad impression on you.
Yeah, they're like referencing a lot of the same YouTube videos that I've taken issue with too.
Because it only makes things worse. It makes it worse for presenting a faulty
Yeah, I'm not gonna go into as much detail as this person. I'm gonna like make my case, give my own opinions about it, and then probably just link their videos, honestly. So Tezuka's daughter, after his death, she uncovered a bunch of like sexy mouse drawings he made that he kept in like some private drawer. So he might have been a furry. You all need to do yourself a favor and search on YouTube a video titled Art 1992. And I would play it for you here, but I'm not sure I'm allowed on Twitch. It is sexually suggestive. But search up the video Art 1992. It's fucking hilarious. Art 1992 by YouTuber Alice the Rat. Please search up that video. Because it is the funniest fucking thing ever. This is like the most research I've seen from any one of these YouTube videos covering Kimba and Simba. That was a very thorough, well-researched video series. And I'm glad I watched it. Yeah, so watching that actually puts my mind at ease in a way. Honestly. I'm still going to present my arguments in pretty much the same way. But now, rather than feeling feeling concerned that I'm not being as detailed as I could be, I can always just link to that video. I can always just link to that series, which I'm sure they would appreciate. So, yeah, that helps out. I'm glad that exists.
Leo, that's enough! You have no right to strike an animal like that!
Out of my way!
Hey guys, thanks for watching. As always, I need to give a shout out to my $5 patrons: Mechadong, Brandon Stuper, Brandon J. Barnard, Pitt Wang, Rasmus, Matthew Clark, Big Weld from Robots the Animated Movie, and Tequila Cinema. I hope you guys liked this most recent video, and I will see you later.